So we're meeting up with Dave from Restoration Island. What's Restoration Island? I thought to myself, I had no idea. I thought just some bloke, bit of a hermit, been living on a deserted island for 20 years. So this is old mate, eh?
This is Dave. Yep, he's the original castaway. I'd sort of conjured up this mental image of Dave based on what I'd read and what a few people had told me and whatnot. And I figured we'd be looking for a real loner, someone who really didn't like people. It looks like the boat's seen a couple of miles too.
There you go, mate.
Dave, nice to meet you, John.
G'day, guys.
Yeah, Glenn, g'day, mate, how are you? When I first met Dave, he came in, I thought, I thought this is Ruthie in 20 years' time.
When I saw the conditions of the ocean, and we're supposed to be hopping on a boat, well, not a boat, a tinny, I was a little bit worried.
And he was loading the boat up. That was the part that I was a bit, is this guy got it together?
So there we are, too many blokes in a leaky boat. We came around the point, and all of a sudden, there's the island. Oh, wow!
When I first saw the island, I could see a yacht and a couple of shipwrecks, but when we were leading up to it, it's just beautiful white sand. Just looked perfect. If I ever get shipwrecked, this is where I want it to happen.
Restoration Island was actually named by Captain Bligh in 1789. You know, that Bligh of the Mutiny of the Bounty fame. After some of his crew had mutinied and forced him and 18 other loyal crew members into a longboat, they spent 30 days at sea before landing on the island. In his diary, Bligh wrote, this being the day of the restoration of King Charles II, and the name being not inapplicable to my present situation, for it has restored us to fresh life and strength, I named it Restoration Island. And it's on this white sandy point that they landed.
It reminded me of islands in Fiji. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
First impressions were beautiful white sand, yacht wreck, little bar on the beach. I just thought, wow, if this is an island tropical paradise, I want one.
I was jealous of his lifestyle, what he'd done to that island and how beautiful it was and how he had set himself up, brew his own beer.
You've really perfected this homebrew, Dave. I've had a lot of beer in my life. This is beautiful.
I've had 20 years of serious practice.
He wasn't some mad hatter living on his own who hated people. He was a really smart guy who decided that people didn't have much to offer him. Dave hasn't always been a bushie, far from it. In fact, he was once a full-on city slicker and a successful businessman. As luck would have it, though, when the share market crashed in 1987, his family's $10 million wealth was wiped out. He lost it all.
And the family left, as they do in the modern world. And, you know, I'm out there in a pretty tough situation. And, you know, you've lost a lot of material wealth. And I look back on it, I think it's ridiculous. It doesn't mean anything now. But at the time, it was important.
It would have been a big shock at the time,
Yeah,
losing
well, it was,
family, losing
yeah, well, that's
wealth.
right. It's pretty tough. When the sheriff bolts your house down and you pay the bank back a couple of million hard ones, and you got lots of debts, and the market's crashed, and you know life was hard, bloody hard.
Yeah.
And I met a new lady.
Right.
She wanted the idea of no stress in life, and we talked about it, and she came up with the idea of what about an island? I said, well, that sounds like a good idea. So, you know, I rang my mate Bluey up. Said, Bluey, I need an island. I've got a new bird without a lot of money. Because I didn't have much. And so here I am.
So in your 21 years, have you had any sort of...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn, it's all going to go
I've had a
pear-shaped?
few difficult times. I got dragged over the oysters naked and cut from head to toe.
How did that happen?
I had two lines, and a mackerel line got caught on my... I tangled up with a big fish.
Yep.
And it literally dragged me across the oysters.
Whoa.
And I couldn't get it off, and you know, I was hurt and bleeding and sore, and I was in trouble.
Whoa, what'd you do?
Well, just rub myself up and down like sandpaper on the sand to get any bits of any oyster out of me. All I do is got a lot of cuts, and I rang up a neighbour. Yeah. And I got some antiseptic, and kept out of the water for a few days, for about a week, a couple of weeks, and I recovered.
What do you think the future holds now, and how do you think you'll get there?
I've got a connection with a lot of people in Lockhart. They want the island to work, and that's to build a healing and inspirational retreat here.
Wow.
It's worked for me. Why can't it work for others?
What do you need? Backers?
People and some financial help.
Yeah.
Because I don't have it. The lawyers have taken all my dollars. But, you know, I think there are people out there in the planet that might want to come and have a look.
You enjoy your life, though, don't you? To the fullest.
Life is great.
The first 52 years or the last 20 odd?
No, the last 20 has been the best time of my life. And the next 20 or whatever, or 50
And the
or
rest of it,
whatever,
yeah.
it'll be the same. It'll be even better, you know.
Thanks, Dave. I loved every minute of this, I really have. Thank you. You know what? Give me 10 years, that's me.